Everybody has a story worth telling, and everybody wants to be heard. My name is Danielle Tiedt, and I am the Chief Marketing Officer for YouTube. I make sure that we tell the right stories at the right time to the right people. We are a place that people can come and tell their stories. So the nice thing about being the Chief Marketing Officer for YouTube is it's my job to reflect them back. I think the more we try to create the stories and not just reflect the authenticity that is happening on the platform is when we get it wrong. You get pretty quick feedback when you don't get it right. YouTube has always been a platform for youth, but Gen Z is such an exciting generation. I have loved getting to know this generation better, both through my own kids and then also through just what I see happening on the platform. They care about racial justice. They care about the climate. They care about diversity and everyone feeling included. They care about mental health, and they expect everyone else to be right there with them. And they expect brands to take brave stands on the issues that they care about. They are not going to invest in us as a company or as a brand if we're not deeply invested in social change and doing our part in making sure that we are advancing social change. Inclusivity is something that we all have to take as a business imperative for our brands to survive and thrive. That's the responsibility that we have to have as shepherds of our brands to drive business growth in the future. People demand it, people expect it, and I think we demand it and expect it of ourselves too. Even though we are still learning every single day and making mistakes and learning from those mistakes, getting it right sometimes, getting it wrong sometimes, I think that I've learned 3 main lessons so that we can all get better and we can all be the change makers we want to be, and we can have a profound impact on the world. I don't think anyone starts out on the journey of inclusive marketing trying to offend people. You set out with a genuine intention of including people and showing that you value people all across the spectrum. But I think at some point on this journey, we're all going to make mistakes. We did this ad. We were launching our YouTube music app, and we really wanted to celebrate the diversity on the platform that came with it and the role that music had. And we showcased what we thought was this beautiful story of this young man exploring his self-expression through makeup and through clothes and through, all these wonderful things. We tested it with LGBTQ plus community. It tested well. We got great feedback. And then we launched it. And we got very strong, immediate feedback from our own internal trans employees within YouTube who said, you're really glorifying just the transformation, which in itself is a stereotype of the trans community. Like, you didn't help break the stereotypes of the trans community, you just fed into it and kind of glorified it. And that, of course, was such a powerful learning for us of just the very fine line between celebrating diversity and telling those stories, but not letting it stick with the stereotype. I think it's brands' responsibility to challenge stereotypes. Stereotypes can be dangerous when we use them and misuse them in the context of marketing. The easy thing to do is to make an ad that just shows a bunch of pictures of all kinds of different races and religions and genders happy together. The hard thing to do is to tell authentic stories of often what is messy about the confluence of all this beautiful diversity we have on the planet. And that's authentic and that's real and that's the work. Inclusivity is definitely more than just visibility. You can't just put the images in an ad and expect that has welcomed people into the door of your brand. During the Black Lives Matter movement, we saw lots of really interesting things happen on the platform. We saw tons and tons of Black creators from all over the world doing different videos called Being Black In. So there was lots of videos of people really reflecting what their lived experience was to be Black in, Japan, being Black in Hungary, being Black in the Netherlands, being Black in the fine arts. What does that look like? And we saw a ton of people going to those videos and really trying to educate themselves on what it meant and what their experience was. We also saw a lot of Black creators coming to the platform to teach people and how to talk to their kids about race and racism. We also saw a lot of allies coming to the platform trying to understand, like, how do I be an ally? Our mission is to give everyone a voice and show them the world. And with that comes great responsibility. Of course, it came back to our creators and artists. They're the lifeblood of who we are. They're the lifeblood of what we do. So we established this fund, $100 million YouTube Black Voices Fund, focused on Black creators and artists to really help them advance and grow and grow huge subscriber bases. And the wonderful thing was it worked. And that's the part that gives me so much energy and passion, is what can you do when you use the power of marketing to really actually change the world, because you can. That became a really big company effort for us on how we were really investing in the growth of our Black creators on our platform. And then that became a really authentic way to celebrate and push the message of the importance of racial justice. That is the work of being inclusive, is hearing all those voices. And that's one of the reasons why I'm still here at YouTube after all those years, is I find that mission just an incredibly powerful one. We're a platform where people tell their stories, and they come to learn about the world, and they come to share their perspective on how they're experiencing the world. So for us, it's business imperative. That was a huge lesson for me, to listen more, listen harder. In 2018, we had this Pride campaign, Proud to Create, which was celebrating all these amazing LGBTQ+ creators we had on the platform. But at the same time, we had pretty serious things happening for our LGBTQ+ creators on the platform. Hate and harassment and bullying. It's before we had really rolled out a lot of the work that we did in that area. We still were monetizing some ads around anti-LGBTQ+ messages, or messages that didn't align, with the LGBTQ+ community. And we got very quick feedback from our creators who said, you can't just launch a campaign. A campaign is not enough. We have to feel like this is a welcoming home for us. We always had taken such pride in this community, and this community choosing YouTube as a home, and then to feel like we had let them down was just as a big moment of reckoning for us at YouTube. And certainly for me as the CMO, I felt like, man, I can't launch campaigns that I don't feel like we have done the work to have integrity through our platform on saying, yes, we see you, we value you, this is your home. You really have to have the accountability to look very deeply at your business model and your business and make sure that your whole business is welcoming people into the door. Change takes much more than just a marketing campaign. I learn from our creators every single day. A creator is a CEO and a CMO and a CFO. They're everything all wrapped in one. I mean, they are entrepreneurs in the most truest sense, and even cooler, they're creative entrepreneurs. Creators are absolutely the lifeblood of YouTube. And the more that we invest in creators, and seeing and honoring creators in the real and authentic ways that they show up, the more we drive audiences, and the more we connect with people in the way we want to connect with people, and the more business growth we all have. I would love to introduce to you all the amazing Asia Jackson, who is one of our recipients of the YouTube Black Voices Fund and a creator extraordinaire.
My name is Asia Jackson, and I'm a YouTube creator based in Los Angeles. Brands can look at diversity as an opportunity to grow, as opposed to something that they feel like they need to do, because, you just look at the numbers. Look what's happening on the internet. Look what's happening on YouTube. Creators are growing their own audiences just by being themselves and looking the way that they do, and I think that traditional media can learn so much from that. When I was growing up, I saw a lot of advertisements that really affected my self-esteem. You know, I am half Filipino. I used to live in the Philippines, and colorism is a really huge issue in the Philippines. And, you know, everywhere I went, I would see a skin whitening ad. You know, there was an ad one time that I saw that was like, you know, get 10% lighter and 100% more numbers. It was like absolutely ridiculous, like the type of messaging that I would see in these advertisements. And so in October 2016, which is Filipino American Heritage Month, I created a movement called hashtag Magandang Morenex, which literally translates to beautiful brown skin in Tagalog. And I did that as a way to not only celebrate Filipino American Heritage Month, but also to celebrate the diversity of Filipino beauty and challenge colorism in Filipino communities. Speaking authentically about my own experience, I never thought that it would resonate with so many people. And the crazy thing is that it wasn't only resonating with Filipino audiences, it was resonating with other Asians too. It was resonating with Latino audiences. People were like, oh, I live in Puerto Rico and we have something similar. You know, I live in Syria and we have something really similar. So that just, you know, serves as how powerful social media can truly be. You know, you can be someone for someone else that they can talk to about serious issues like this. YouTube's a really great platform to learn about how other people live in different cultures, in different countries, because it gives you like a really authentic view of who they are and how they live, as opposed to it being filtered through like traditional media. Like in traditional media, someone gives you a script, they tell you what to say. On YouTube, you're able to really write your own story, tell your own story, say things the way that you want to say them, and I think it gives creators a lot of freedom. Gen Z specifically, they can really see when a creator is being inauthentic. When you just have a person, you know, visible, and you think, oh, this is enough. It's not really enough, because they're not being presented as a human. And when you let humans tell human stories, that's when it starts to resonate with other humans, regardless of race or ethnicity. So that's why I think it's really important for brands to recognize that, you know, when you allow Black, Indigenous, people of color to just be themselves and tell their authentic stories, it's just going to resonate with people regardless.
The biggest lesson I have learned from YouTube creators is that there are as many stories as there are people. I take this so seriously because I think that the images that we put in the world really matter as marketers. Everyone should feel part of the messages that the brand is saying. These are not just diversity boxes that we're checking. This is where we see the future growth on our platform intrinsically linked to. I think the most important thing we have to do as an industry is to be humble and keep learning. We've got to learn together, and we've got to learn together fast, because the world needs it. Our customers and our viewers need it, and it's our responsibility to drive that change. The 3 lessons I've learned are: inclusivity is definitely more than just visibility, to listen more, listen harder. And change takes much more than just a marketing campaign. You have to look at how you impact change more holistically. I think this is one of the most exciting reasons to be a marketer today, is to be part of this moment in time and really changing how we think about this and our role in making the world a better place. I think industry bodies like the ANA and like this conversation we're having today are great starting points for how we continue to keep that conversation front and center.